Hello everyone and welcome to this special Caseus Q&A. I asked you all to put forth your Caseus what if questions in the community tab and you definitely delivered. So let's get right into things, and just a heads up, we may not get to all of them because there were a lot. Number 1, what if Corbin survived? This one was asked by a ton of people, and that is what would happen if Corbin survived Nightfall? Now, there's two different ways to go about this. One where he is separated from Caseus and has to find his own path, and one where he and Caseus both make it off Artus with each other. For the latter, I think they would both return to Coruscant, only to find out that the temple is under attack. In this scenario, I could see Caseus and Corbin sneaking in. With Corbin's extra help, I actually think Takai would survive this ordeal. Sarah, however, would still have perished. If all three Jedi battled Anakin, it would have been a tough time for Skywalker. I know that what would likely happen is that Anakin would be able to hold them off until the clones showed up. It's here that I think Master Takai would probably sacrifice herself, giving Caseus and Corbin a chance to get out with Juro. After this, Dravok would likely find them and things would play out fairly similarly in the Inner Storm, except this time, both Caseus and Corbin are training under Dravok. And with Dravok's intense training applied to both Caseus and Corbin, I think the chance of them actually taking out Vader on Castellon is much higher. If they didn't, it's likely that Corbin and Dravok die along with Juro, and the following books play similarly. If they did kill him, all three Jedi would likely split up and hide on different worlds to draw less suspicion. Number 2. What if Caseus and Sarah both survived Order 66? Or, what if Sarah survived Order 66? This is another one that was asked a lot. In this scenario, we'll just say that Caseus got to Coruscant just a bit faster. Even though Takai dies, Caseus arrives to see Sarah fighting Anakin. He helps her battle him, and knowing they're outclassed, they get to Juro and escape. Now here, they have two options. Option 1, accept Dravok's proposal to hunt down Vader. Or Option 2, go into hiding like the others. In this scenario, I feel that Caseus' rage, although horrible, wouldn't be enough to push him to side with Dravok. Sarah, I think, would be a bit more open to the idea, but would still inevitably not want to take the risk. They would likely go to Dantooine with Juro and settle down in a quiet area of the planet and stay hidden, not using the Force. And while they would be together, it wouldn't be a great life. They'd be constantly looking over their shoulders, worrying about the next day, both plagued with nightmares. At this point, they would likely put away their lightsabers and cut themselves off from the Force, doing anything in their power to keep off the Empire's radar. Number 3. What if Sarah lived but Caseus died? I think I could see a similar situation playing all the way out through the Inner Storm if, afterwards, Sarah went to Dantooine and met Liara. I imagine she would train her in secret and eventually gift her Caseus lightsaber. Number 4. What if Dravok was Caseus' master instead of Master Takai? Actually, this ties into another question here of what if Takai was the villain like your original plan for Jedi Apprentice? So, in my original plan for Jedi Apprentice, Dravok was supposed to be the red herring. The reader would think he was the villain up until the twist reveal that Master Takai was behind it all. At the end of the book, after Master Takai escaped, Dravok would have taken Caseus as his new apprentice. And in this scenario, I feel like Caseus would have felt an immense sense of betrayal from Kukuri, having looked up to her as a mother only for her to do what she did. This Caseus would be a lot more jaded and distrustful, probably leading to Caseus and Sarah not getting together, or at least not getting together as quickly as they did in the original story. The really interesting stuff would happen in the Inner Storm if the Inner Storm played out with Kukuri as the teacher instead of Dravok. I feel like Caseus would be much more hostile and bitter towards her, seeing how he trusted her above anyone else as a Padawan and she betrayed him. Now, overall, I'm happy with the timeline as it is for this scenario. Number 5. What if the rookie clones Click-Clack, Bottle Cap, and Scrum had to execute Order 66? Here's the thing. I don't think it would happen. In my mind, the three of them accidentally bust their headsets in their helmets. Not wanting to make Captain Kriega angry, they pretend like everything is fine, until they see their brothers immediately start to gun down Jedi without hesitation. At this point, the three of them would probably just pretend like they were in on it because they would be too confused to do anything else. Number 6. Nightwolf, I know you want happy endings, so I'll indulge this one. What if Caseus and Sarah survived and raised Liara, and also Kukuri and Dravok survived, reconciled, and got married, and Liara called them Grandpa and Grandma? Well, Caseus would have a very happy life, wouldn't he? A nice, big, happily ever after. Wake up! Number 7. What if Caseus and Dravok were successful in killing Vader in the Inner Storm? This. Nah, just kidding. Honestly, if everything went according to plan, Caseus and Dravok would be the biggest enemies of the Empire. They would have to lay low and go into hiding, most likely changing ships, clothes, and identities multiple times. They'd stay very far apart on different worlds, biding their time until they figured out what to do next. More likely, however, is they would be hunted ruthlessly by the Empire, forced to hide deep underground, away from civilization of any kind. Number 8. What if Caseus was captured by Vader instead of Liara? Caseus would be dead. Remember, Caseus knows Vader's true identity. He wouldn't risk it getting out and would kill Caseus. Vader used Liara as a means to an end. Caseus? He's just a loose end for Vader. Number 9. What if Dravok survived the Inner Storm but Caseus didn't? I think this would be a major turning point for Dravok. I think in the time he trained Caseus, Dravok did grow to care for him. Enough that Dravok was willing to take the killing blow meant for him. Dravok would feel immense guilt. It would dawn on him that not only was he unable to save Master Takai, but he led her student, her surrogate son, the boy she cherished more than anything else, to his death. He would go into hiding. Most likely he would cut himself off from the Force entirely, destroy his lightsaber, and live however he could, alone and depressed. Dravok's anger would shift to a numbing pain and a weary mindset. Number 10. What if Caseus and Sarah saved the Oracle during the mission to Kelja? Well, regardless, the Oracle would die not long after, but Caseus would likely see the entire vision of Order 66 and what would happen. If he saw Anakin in that vision, this would lead to a major rift in the Order, and people would argue whether this vision was true or not. If he saw Palpatine in the vision, even more doubt would be placed on the Chancellor, and likely the Jedi would confront him on this issue. But because it was only a vision and one that only he saw, it's debatable who would believe him. Number 11. What if Palpatine knew what Caseus is? Okay, well, this would just unravel the story in its entirety. The conflict is crucial to the story. Palpatine not knowing what the a Caseus is the center of the books. We can't just take that away. Number 12. What if Caseus and Anakin were friends? And an added one. What if it was Anakin and Caseus who went to save the Chancellor and Kenobi went to Mandalore? This is a tough one. If they're just casual friends, not a whole lot changes. If, however, they were extremely close friends, it would be different. Anakin and Ahsoka are like brother and sister. Anakin and Obi-Wan are like brothers. Anakin and Caseus would be different, as not only are they closer in age with each other than Anakin and Obi-Wan, but they would likely find more similar interests. Caseus isn't nearly as uptight as Obi-Wan is, so I could see them vibing on a similar wavelength. And if they found out about each other's secret relationships, things change even more. Anakin would actually have someone to talk to about this situation, someone in the same boat, meaning that Anakin's secret wouldn't be as much of a burden. Now, whether this would be enough to keep Anakin from falling to the dark side is very circumstantial and debatable. In the likely scenario that Anakin still turns, that fight during Order 66 would be all the more tragic and heartbreaking. If, on the slim chance Caseus did keep Anakin from falling to the dark side and Order 66 never happens, I could see a future with Anakin and Padme being two of a very small number of guests at Caseus and Sarah's wedding. Now, if Caseus and Anakin both went to rescue the Chancellor, the biggest obstacle is Dooku. Caseus may be a knight at this point, but he's not a master duelist. However, I think that because Caseus specializes in both Form 3 and Form 5, he'd be able to defend himself with Anakin while applying extra pressure. And if Caseus could avoid being knocked out or killed, he would very likely stop Anakin from executing Dooku, much to Palpatine's disdain. If they made it back to Coruscant in one piece with Dooku in custody, things play out much smoother. However, there's so many avenues this road could go down, but we'll stop it for now and maybe pick it up another time. Thank you all so much for your questions. Honest to God, I didn't expect so many. I'll see you all next time, so be sure to hit the notification bell for updates. We'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you. Always.